Police militarization. What exactly is that? Well, it can be defined as police who have taken the model of a military and used the same tactics as them. On the night of November 25th of 2015 in Missouri Ferguson, there was a riot. This riot was simply peaceful, but the police came in with their SWAT teams, which SWAT is also a form of the police militarization. It's just another name for it. And they came in and they invaded. They were throwing grenades and bombs and causing more damage than what should have been. These police militarizations, they have invaded our privacy, they've taken away our peace, and lost the trust of many people. The amount of police militarization has now gone up in many numbers. As you can see in this graph, it has gone up insane, and they have more guns and more ammunition and things that they can come in and hurt people with. The police, first off, invaded our privacy, like I said earlier. In The Rise of the Warrior Cop, the article that I found, it says, today in America, SWAT teams violently smashed into private homes more than 100 times per day. Imagine if you were that home. Could you imagine? Like, you come back and your stuff is damaged because they thought there was drugs being used in your home, but really there wasn't. They have no way of knowing. They just come in and they damage your homes. By an article by Brown, it says, a police forces, in fact, would be an extension of standing armies acting as spies, limiting individual freedoms and perpetuating governmental abuses. They're abusing their power. They're coming in and invading your homes, and they're spying on you, and there's no privacy now in your life. And also, the document, The Rise of the Warrior Cop, it does say, to say a military tactic is legal or even effective, it is not wise or moral in every instance. Yes, not in every instance. This tactic is being used. There are those who are using it in the right way and going in, not invading your privacy and not damaging your homes. But in many instances, this doesn't happen, and they are coming in and they are hurting those around you. Another point is that they're not protecting us anymore. In an article by Adachi on page 14, it says a child was burned in his crib by a flashbang grenade during a 3 a.m. raid over what they thought was a $50 drug sale. They came in and it wasn't peaceful. They could have knocked on the door and searched it without throwing grenades and going in. And again, the same article, Rise of the Warrior Cop, it says aggressive SWAT-style tactics are now used to raid neighborhood poker games, doctors, officers, bars, and restaurants, and head shops, despite the fact that the targets in these raids pose little to threat to anyone. They didn't realize what the threat was. I love this picture. It's just thinking, if we think about what it would be if they came into your home and they were invading your privacy and hurting those around you, how would it affect you? There's a picture from the law office of Robbie Ambrose Cook, and it is showing this protest, and this is the police who was using the military tactics to hurt this man. And there was a background story saying that there was no harm. The man wasn't causing this police any harm, but he came at him with aggression. And but in an article by Kumanyika, it says the federal funding and surplus military equipment have only increased thanks to post 9/11 war on terror. There are many officers who are out there who are scared, and they are using these tactics because of what had happened in the past, but they've now used it to an extreme which they don't need. There's no trust between the police. My last point is in this figure of this graph, it shows you right here. It talks about how the SWAT teams are being overused in situations that shouldn't have them. Right here is the amount of search warrants they're having to use when there's no need for them, there's no necessary. And I've seen a lot of the articles that are saying it's because of post 9/11, and there are many reasons why that can be traumatic and hard for these police who have families to go back home to, but they're also invading the privacy of other homes and hurting other people, and so if we can just look at the police and stop the militarization of them and to stop the damage and the violence and just have them protect us and bring the peace back. And they're using pepper spray and tear gas when there's no need. So please, if you can look at this and see the harm the police are causing and stop the police of militarization, these SWAT teams, then we can bring peace back to this world and our families.